If there's anything I'm solidly a fan of, it's definitely metal-masked anti-heroes. I mean, from the Doomcast, that should be obvious, but yeah, there's Doom, Taskmaster, sort of. Actually, there's not really a whole lot of them. But anime has a long tradition of brooding, arrogant anti-heroes that have the skills to back it up. Bakugo, Vegeta, and virtually anybody who's ever been in a red mobile suit. You laugh, but this week I'm reviewing Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin, courtesy of Right Stuf Anime. This week is a shout out to the origin and the pure style of the Red Comet himself, the OG, Char AZNABLE. Hi, I'm Space Noid and New Type Dan Umpton, and this is the Doomcast. Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin is a series of long-format anime based off of a manga which expand the original Universal Century timeline of Gundam, which in turn focused on the one-year war and its aftermath between Earth and Zeon. If that sounds like a lot to remember, you haven't watched Mobile Suit Gundam. So definitely go watch that first, but the original antagonist in Mobile Suit Gundam, Char AZNABLE, was an ace pilot for Zeon, the space-based republic/military dictatorship that was sort of loosely based on the Nazis. Except it really wasn't. They've got a red flag in a militaristic culture and totalitarian society, yes, but without the mass genocide or racial supremacy. Zeon is less like Nazi Germany and more like post-revolutionary United States in a lot of ways, without the genocide. Anyway, an Earth colony that has declared its own independence and identity is really what Zeon is. Little iffy on the iconography, though. And while Zeon wasn't especially sympathetic in the 1979 Mobile Suit Gundam anime, here it makes Zeon at least relatable, understandable, but it definitely makes Char AZNABLE sympathetic and very much an anti-hero. It takes you through his origin as the son of the preeminent political space-noid mind of his day, Zeonzum Daikun. Daikun is assassinated by members of an increasingly power-hungry revolutionary cabal that's only tangentially aligned with his political thought. His children, Casval and Artesia, are forced to flee first to Earth in Spain and later to Texas Colony, which is a space station at a Lagrange point in space whose environment is based on, well, basically Colorado, not Texas. But the story of how Casval Daikun becomes Edward Maas, becomes Char AZNABLE, is a lot more intriguing as an antagonistic backstory than a stupid Star Wars prequel. It's tragic enough that you kind of empathize with his position and the reason that he does the stuff that he ends up doing. The Char of Zeta Gundam in the later UC timeline isn't there yet. He's also far from the rival of Amore immediately, at least at the beginning. He starts as a scared but incredibly gifted kid and a devoted brother and son, eventually to a cold, clever young man who's Machiavellian in his manipulation of his classmates and politics around him. His sole focus is revenge on the Zabi family for the assassination of his father. There's also appearances and side stories from a wealth of familiar Gundam characters from the original show. The animation is top-notch, and while there isn't a whole lot of mobile suit action through the majority of that series, there's still plenty of action and a lot of story that you kind of need some other Gundam context in order to enjoy, but for a Gundam fan, it's an absolute must-see. And the prior installments of Gundam Origin, as well as 6, are available through Right Stuf Anime now. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.